Welcome back. I got me some stardust. I also got me some dense bauxite ore. And a lot more that still needs to be processed. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to process this all in this specific path. So I'm going to chem bath in sodium persulfate. So I need to automate this, but I'm going to do that. And I'm going to chem bath in sodium persulfate to get a bunch of gallium, because that is nice to have. Then I'm going to thermal centrifuge for extra rutile. I really want to squeeze out as much rutile as I can. And then maceration again will give me even more gallium. And once I have my hands on a big old batch of titanium, I'm going to start working on applied energistics. I do of course need nichrome coils to make the hot stellar alloy ingots. So I am going to have to set that up as well. And also if I can get argon gas, that would be pretty nice. That would speed this up, also save me some power. And I can in fact get argon gas. I need an HV centrifuge and I can set this up. But for now, I need to go on quite a long ore processing grind. I'll keep working on other stuff in the meantime, but just assume that I've been processing my ores in the background. I don't think it's particularly interesting to look at because it's not going to be automated just yet. I'm just going to be moving things by hand and AFKing, probably. So yeah, that's my plan. Nice, I am so glad. I really want AE2. Alright, a bit of crafting later. Oh, I even have more sodium persulfate left over. Okay, I can get a bit more rutile. But yeah, I have some rutile. I have a bit of bauxite that's electrolyzing. It looks like a lot of bauxite, like a couple stacks, but that is not a lot of rutile. It's 15 to 1, so each stack of bauxite is like 4 rutile. So making this chem bath was definitely a good idea. And there is a quest here in the Metallurgy and U tab. It's just a checkbox quest. This gives me a bit of magnesium, and I can loop this magnesium, which is nice. So again, if you haven't seen this before, the way you get titanium is rutile plus carbon dust plus chlorine gas gives you carbon monoxide and titanium tetrachloride. The titanium tetrachloride gets blasted along with magnesium to give you magnesium chloride dust back and hot titanium ingots, which is titanium. The magnesium chloride dust you can electrolyze to get the magnesium back. And the chlorine. I'm pretty sure they're both totally just completely looped perfectly. I think I'm going to make a completely new blast furnace just for titanium and put it here. And probably link it to this vacuum freezer so I can also cool the hot titanium ingots. And just have input, output, rutile goes in, titanium comes out. Probably some single block electrolyzers. What else? Chem reactor probably. Should be fine. I'm dipping my hands in some chlorine because I need to jumpstart my rutile loop. Should be ready though. Let me quickly shut these things off. Or silence them, I mean. Now I'm gonna quickly explain the rutile loop here. It's pretty simple. Starts here at this chem reactor, where we combine carbon dust and rutile dust with chlorine to make carbon monoxide and titanium tetrachloride. With some filtering and ender fluid conduit, we send the titanium tetrachloride into the EBF and the carbon monoxide into the electrolyzer. This carbon monoxide returns the carbon back to the chem reactor and stores the oxygen over here, where excess is voided. The titanium tetrachloride is combined with some magnesium that is behind this electrolyzer. There's an input bus. And that makes hot titanium ingots, or it will in about 5 seconds, along with magnesium chloride. The hot titanium goes straight to the vacuum freezer to be turned into titanium, like this. And this electrolyzer converts the magnesium chloride back into chlorine, which is sent into this chem reactor, and also, of course, back into magnesium, which goes back into the input bus. So it's kind of 2 parallel loops that are going on. So this is basically rutile in, titanium out. The rutile does need to go into this chem reactor though, which is a little hard to access, but I think I can add like a chest over here and an item conduit, and that should be fine. But cool, I am going to build up a nice big batch of titanium and start doing some applied energistics. Also, you may notice that this is paused because I am not making diesel fast enough to run 2 EV blast furnaces all the time, along with, everything else in my base. So it seems we found the upper limit of my current power generation, and I need to upgrade. Man, I'm so sad. I just accidentally transferred some titanium ingots, and I got the welcome to extreme voltage notification, but I was just trying to take out some nichrome. I wasn't recording. Well, we're in EV now. Welcome to EV, employees. Interesting recipe for quartz fiber. Needs liquid glass. Oh shit, I didn't notice this. I need a skystone lens to do anything in AE2. Okay, skystone is not very easy to get at the moment. I am able to. I do need to do a little bit more stuff to be able to. It's an orbital miner on my space station. So I guess it's time to actually build out my space station, at least a little bit. This does require titanium, so I couldn't have done this until now anyway. But yeah, I need to build an orbital laser drill. The controller is not an issue. It needs advanced circuits from advanced rocketry, which are just zapped MB circuits, but that's fine. But it also needs advanced machine structures, and these need titanium and stainless steel, which is fine now because we have titanium. Everything else here is some combination of steel, aluminium, titanium, and stainless steel. Once I set this up on my space station, I should be able to generate all of these different materials, which is kind of nice. Some of these are dense ores, so it does the starlight autoclave step for me already, which is pretty nice. But really what I'm after is the skystone. So I'm going to craft all of this up, and I will see you on the space station. All right, to the space station. No rocket needed. Oh, that's so cool. That's just so cool. Okay, I do have to build this out a little bit. This is obviously where the rocket lands every time, so this is off limits. Let's plan this out, right? So the orbital laser is kind of big. It's fairly large multi-block, which is nice. I like building big multi-blocks, but the question is, where does this go? And to answer that, I first kind of need to build out a little bit, just so I can plan a bit better. Okay, here is my idea. A UFO. Unsurprising, to be honest, but yeah, that's kind of what I'm going for. Needs a lot more building, of course. For now, I just want to set up my orbital laser drill. This should be it. Okay, this is cool. This is very cool looking. Super cool. Thing is, this machine takes a lot of power, and getting power to other dimensions is still a little problematic for me right now. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up this 16x battery buffer, fill it with lithium batteries. I have my EU to FE converter. This outputs 32,768 FE or RF. So I need to get some conduits that can handle that and plug everything in, but yeah, this needs quite a bit of power. I don't have enough turbines. I'm running out of all kinds of resources, so I just have 4. I'm gonna have to micromanage this a little bit, just, you know, wait for the buffer to fill and then turn it on for a little bit just to get some skystone to get started. So I am just going to do something like this, a goofy little power flower. And I'm gonna manually fill these with diesel. And yeah, hopefully this buffer inside fills up quickly by the time I get the conduits ready, and then we can get this thing going. I also have to look up how this works. I don't really know how this works. I just want some skystone, dude. Alright, here is the orbital laser drill all set up, powered, and it's working. This is very loud. I wish these could be quiet by default. Anyway, over here, this is how I have this set up. I do need a redstone signal to turn this thing on. I think in an older version of advanced rocketry, or maybe in the original FTB interactions, this actually had a different structure because I remember needing to put in a lens. And actually the quest even says put a lens in the GUI, but there's nothing in the GUI. So the quest is a bit outdated, I think. Never updated once they remastered the pack, I presume. But this works. I turn this on. Takes a second, but it starts to dig. And that's great. And check it out. Block of skystone. Also living rock, dense copper. This is going to be a lot of cobblestone. Just trash cobblestone. And that's fine. So this does need to be handled a little bit. That would be easier with AE2, of course, as are most things in modern Minecraft. But this is what I'm really here for. The block of skystone. I think I have to convert it to this AE2 version to finish off the quest here. And then this I can cut into plates, and the plates I can lathe into skystone lens. And then the skystone lens I can use to actually do printed silicon. And also printed calculation circuits, logic circuits, engineering circuits. Ah, AE2 is here. Just gotta gather up some black quartz here on the moon. I also did make a celestial gateway. Put it down here. But I'm gonna fly the rocket back because I don't want to leave the rocket here. Oh, dude, I almost forgot about this thing. The phytogenic insulator. I have my Fluix crystals now. This means I can make a Fluix chicken. I just need 18 redstone, 2 stardust, and an infinity reagent. This is totally doable. I'm actually gonna set that up. That's gonna be my main source of Fluix crystals from now on. Let's start small with our AE2 system. First up, energy acceptor. Need some quartz glass, which I haven't made before, but I've noticed I'm gonna need quite a lot of this. Luckily, it's pretty easy to make. Just liquid glass and Certus quartz dust. Cool, that's the first thing. Next, I need an ME drive. This needs stainless, reinforced alloy, redstone, glass cables, and engineering processors. This is made with hydrochloric acid, printed silicon, and printed engineering circuits. The 2 printed parts are made in a laser engraver with the skystone lens. Alright, that's great. Next up, an ME crafting terminal. This needs an ME terminal, but this is also pretty easy to make. Crafting terminal done. And now finally, I'm gonna go from the 1K to the 4K to the 16K ME storage components. I can make all of these. And I figure there's no reason for me to start at the 1K when I can pretty easily make the 16Ks. So I'm gonna make, let's say, 8 16K ME storage components, or I guess 7, because I'm gonna get this reward. Converting this to a storage cell is pretty easy. Some redstone, some quartz glass, some iron. Very easy. Besides that, I need gold plates for printed logic circuits, for logic processors, for 1Ks, for 4Ks, for 16Ks. That's the path. Honestly, pretty straightforward. Oh yeah. AE2. It's finally here. I'm gonna set up a quick little storage net. Nothing crazy. No ME controller, no P2P subnet, nothing yet. That's all gonna have to wait just a little bit. Because the stellar alloy is coming in quite slowly. Also, I need to micromanage this a bit. But to make the controller, there's something else I need. First of all, I need energy cells. This is fine. This is easy to make. Quite cheap, actually. I also need crafting units, which need stellar alloy, and also dense smart cables. But smart cables in this pack are dirt cheap. It's just a regular cable plus redstone and glowstone. Oh man, that's cheap. But more importantly, as you can see, this is not a normal crafting recipe. This is a multi-block miniaturization recipe, which needs 4 miniaturization field projectors, which needs a personal shrinking device as well, which I need to make. None of this is too bad. It's all pretty easy to make. It's just a couple more steps, and I need to set this thing up. I haven't set this up in a long time, and I don't remember how. It's from Compact Machines, and there is a quest about it, so it shouldn't be too bad. Anyway, the thing I'm waiting for is the stellar alloy though. It's very, very slow to smelt, and I am especially not helped by the fact that my fuel generation is 2 single block LV distilleries. Oh man, that's not great. I thought about making a distillation tower, and that's probably a good idea. I need to make some workstations for this, which is fine. I need HV circuits. It's a bit expensive, and requesting things in the logistics table is annoying. Also, manually processing things is annoying. So I just really, really want to have centralized storage first. And that is where all of this stuff comes in. I think I can probably just rip this up already, to be honest. Let's do it. So we've got our energy acceptor. Does this accept energy straight from a combustion gen? I kind of doubt it. Here's the drive. I have 1 storage cell. Actually, I have 3 storage cells from the quests. Cool. And I have my crafting terminal. Is this actually online? Oh, it is. Cool. Okay, so this does accept power directly from the combustion gen. It does, of course, consume power constantly while this is on. So maybe a toggle bus setup might be smart, but I can afford it. One kind of downgrade here from GTNH's AE2 is I can't drag over items to put them in. I have to click each and every single item in my inventory. I could probably space click though. Yeah, I can. Alright, I'm gonna start centralizing my storage, putting everything in here. The digital age is upon us.